Hi there, everyone. This is Mark Plunkett, the pastor of Heritage Presbyterian Church, with another of our weekly devotionals. Yesterday was World Communion Sunday, and that's a day in which the Christian churches all over the world, in all denominations, are supposed to come together and remember each other and serve communion that day and remind the people that we're all one church in Jesus Christ. Now, that doesn't mean we all agree. That doesn't mean we all worship the same way. That doesn't even mean that we all agree on almost everything. There's a lot of stuff that Christians disagree on. But at least once a year, isn't it a good idea for us to pretty much set aside our differences and come together and celebrate communion? Communion, the Lord's Supper, what Jesus taught his apostles and what he's taught us too. It's a wonderful day. And it makes me think of how big the church would be if all of us got along. If all of us refuse to let our differences separate us the way that we do sometimes. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with anybody else's style, but I am saying there's something wrong with all the divisions that exist in the Christian church. You know, in the book of Hebrews, in the letter to the Hebrews in chapter 12, it mentions a phrase. It says, a vast cloud of witnesses surrounds us. Now, I wonder what that means. Does it mean living people who are all over the place, who are ready to step forward and help one another, no matter what their denomination is, no matter what church they go to, but people who are believers who step forward and help each other? Is that what that means? Or does it refer to people who have gone before us, who are already dead, whose spirit reminds us, is always in our minds, you might say, like beloved people that you know and that you remember that set a good example for you? Are they the ones that are always around? Are they part of that vast cloud of people? And then, of course, there's the book of Revelation. Now, I'm not getting into the book of Revelation today, not in just a couple of minutes. No way. Revelation takes a lot of study, a lot of really intense work, and a lot of paying attention. But there's one part that mentions a vast crowd of 144,000. 144,000 symbolizing 12,000 from each tribe, the 12 tribes of Israel. Now, that 144,000, if it is a true number, not a symbolic number, that would still be an enormous crowd, a huge crowd, bigger than any crowd they could imagine back in the days of Jesus. And it talks about this 144,000 at the throne of the Lord, that these are the ones that are saved. These are the ones that are saved first. They're part of a body of people that's set aside, you might say. But even then, imagine how vast that crowd would be. 144,000 people. Wow, that's a lot of people. If only each one of those 144,000, if only each one of the 7.8 billion that we have on the face of the earth, heck, if only the people in your own church could just get over their bad selves sometimes, could just sit down and relax with friends, could just debate things without getting mad, without, I don't believe in that, storming off. There's nothing about a vast cloud of witnesses that says we do anything like that. I personally think we need to soften our tongues and soften our hearts and come together and listen and learn from one another. Who knows what we might see in that vast cloud of witnesses? Amen.